Keisha. Hey. Linda, listen. You guys come on in. Don't forget to hit that like button as you come in the house. I'm good, Keisha. How are you, ma'am? Gospel Glam. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Angie. How you doing? Miss Latrice. Hey. How you doing? I see we made our debut. Oh, Lord. Che. Gospel Glam, they'll be all right. Their hair sticking up over there. Won't sit down. Um, Shay, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Let me cut this light on before it get too dark out here. All right, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Yeah, well, it's 75 out here right now. So, look, I was working and my YouTube was on auto, and I just happened to hear my name. And I looked up, like, oh my God, this is crazy. But anyway, all is one. Gospel Glam, why did your name come up? Here's the thing with that, y'all. Um, I am making a conscious decision not to entertain any buffoonery. So, if somebody put your name in something, and I apologize for anybody that wants to try to put you in some mess. Um, and I would encourage you guys to, you know, let people have their mess. If that's what they need to do, let them have their mess. And we're gonna keep it pushing. It was on the restaurant. I couldn't ask you if somebody asked you to turn. Mom often you said no, and I said, Queen, you stand your ground. And there was nothing wrong with that. Actually, nobody asked me specifically to turn off my camera. They were actually directing that at someone else. But the fact was, I'm grown. So yeah, that's all that was about. So I apologize to you if somebody else came at you crazy, even though we can't tell other people what to do. You know. Um, but Mr. Harvey Weinstein, we're gonna start with him first. Amen. It's okay. That's right. We're gonna keep it pushing. Um, I'm good, Gospel Glam. Thanks for asking. We're all good because we're not getting involved in the shenanigans. Um, so yesterday I was reading up some on Harvey Weinstein's case. Well, last night, 23 years. Whoa. Yes. I was reading up on some of his stuff last night, um, and we were looking at him being convicted of third-degree rape and first-degree sexual assault. Now, the one thing I wanted to say about this is that people thought that he wasn't going to be convicted. Yeah. The second thing is, if he was convicted, he wasn't going to get any time. So both of those things have been proven inaccurate. My shirt says perfectly imperfect. Perfectly imperfect. Regal since 1978. Um, but not too long ago, a few days ago, Mr. Weinstein took a little tumble in prison. And he ended up having to go and get a procedure done. Um, you know I did. You know I did. He ended up having to go and get a procedure done. He had to have, hey, Miss Katie, how you doing? He had to have he had an operation on his heart to remove some blockage. Now, they didn't say how much blockage he had. Yes, you can get one. Yes. They didn't say how much blockage that he had, but it was enough that he had to go and have an operation. Now, to me, that's already setting the stage for something, because this was a part of the reason that his attorneys were asking for his sentence to be on the lesser end of the minimum because of his health issues, right? So, and they didn't say that he had a heart attack, but like I said, and they didn't say the percentage of the blockage that he had, but it had to be pretty, serious for him to actually have that surgery. They didn't say if they had to put a stent in or whatever, but he had some stuff going on. So he took a tumble in the jail. The people said they believed that he had a concussion. Whether or not he had a concussion, I don't know. I'm pretty sure his victims, and we don't have to say alleged now since he's been convicted. I'm pretty sure that his victims could care less whether or not he has a concussion. Me personally, I hope he feels better. But he says that his head has been pounding since he fell and hit it. This actually happened on Sunday. So, and they said he's having a tough time in jail. He was expected to be sentenced on March 11th. That would be today, March 11th. And he was looking at anywhere from 5 to 29 years if found guilty. So the mandatory minimum was 5. The mandatory maximum, 29. So we see what happened today. Somebody already put it in here. I think Gospel Glam put 23. That's what it was, 23. So his defense team was arguing that, he's had this back surgery. He's been having problems with his back. He's having all these other health issues. He just can't function in prison. Right, Tanya? Right. He just can't function in prison. He has all this stuff going on. And with his age, I think he's like 67 maybe. You need to just go ahead and just give him maybe 5 years, right? Because he's special. He needs to get 5 years. So, I'm just going to go and read the headline that came to my phone today. And the headline said, Harvey Weinstein gets 23-year prison sentence in his New York trial. It's nay on the 5 years, absolutely. Fallen Hollywood Titan. Hollywood Titan. I got to make sure I pronounce this correctly so y'all know what I'm saying. Hollywood Titan. Let me get my country out for a minute. Hollywood Titan. Harvey Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison for committing a criminal sex act against a production assistant and for raping an aspiring actress. After dozens of women came forward to share their stories of alleged sexual assault at the hands of one of Hollywood's most powerful figures, Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years. Today, he was sentenced to 23 years. So what happened was he received 20 years for committing a criminal sexual act. He only received 3 years for the rape. You got me? So 20 years for a criminal sexual act, 3 years for the actual rape. Hey, Kay Nicole. Hey, Tanya. I don't think I missed anybody. Harvey and Michael need their big boy boxes. Um, Melissa, I'll be surprised. Hey Pico, how you doing? I'll be surprised if he makes it too long. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but just him having to go and have that operation done to have a blockage removed, that's not a good sign. So we'll see what happens. Not wishing anything bad on him though. So they're saying basically that this could equate to a life sentence with his age. Okay. When we're looking at this justice thing, my goal is to make sure or to ensure that everyone receives a fair trial. I think that the judge was I think he was very patient with Mr. Weinstein, especially with him coming in the court initially seeming to think that the rules don't apply to him. So, we had to mess with the phone and the judge having to tell him to get off the phone, and he didn't think the phone thing applied to him because he was Harvey. I'm Harvey, beating on his chest and stuff. So these women testified during the trial. They described the interactions with him. The interactions were brutal, they were violent, mentally draining. They didn't hold any punches. And one of the victims actually said a lot of the questions that they answered were yes, no questions. And they were closed questions, so they really couldn't answer the questions the way that they want to and really describe how some of this stuff went on. But nonetheless, they were able to at least get some of their story out and see justice served. And this is what I'm saying. When I say justice, it's not just for one person. Justice was served for all the people that were involved, for Harvey, for his victims, anybody that couldn't be a part of it and felt like, they were looking at this and hoping that they could get some type of justice out of it since they weren't involved. I mean, it's a lot. So one of the things that the judge made sure he told Mr. Harvey today is that he will, not might be, is that he will be registered as a sex offender. Now, if you go back to the case of Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey was able to escape being put on that registry because of some people that are now, that were in DC, that messed around with his paperwork and dropped him down to a lower level defender so that he wouldn't have to have his name on that sex offender registry. Mr. Weinstein was not able to avoid this. So that's one of the main things that was different between him and Epstein. That's why Epstein was able to go so long without, really being on anybody's radar. Mr. Weinstein, he addressed a packed Manhattan courtroom, so he wanted to have his say today. He expressed that he had deep remorse for what happened. And his remorse and his face and what he was actually saying, it didn't add up. At least that's what they thought. They thought that it didn't add up. So he started rambling a little bit. He, threw a couple shots at the Me Too movement. He basically said that the Me Too movement took it too far, and started talking about his charity work and how much he's done for other people. He's saying the Me Too movement took it too far. I wonder how other people feel about that. I'm just saying. Let me read his quote. Hey, Iris, how you doing? He said, I am totally confused. I think men are confused about all of this. This feeling of thousands of men and women who are losing due process. I'm worried about this country. I wanted to read that because the thing is, what he said actually made sense. So let me go back and read that one more time. I am totally confused. I think men are confused about all of this. This feeling of thousands of men and women who are losing due process. I'm worried about this country. What he said, that has some truth to it. But Harvey had his due process. And even now, you still have... Let me move on. He said, this is not the right atmosphere in the United States of America. I couldn't agree more. It's not the right atmosphere for people to be guilty until proven innocent. I'm just saying. That's not the right atmosphere. I didn't see that happen in his case. But you're right, that's not the right... Hey, K baby, how you doing? How you doing? That's definitely not the right atmosphere. It's not the right atmosphere for cases to be tried in the court of public opinion before trial. That's not the right atmosphere. To me, it's not okay for people to go and put information out before a case actually goes to court, and pretty much you're tainting any future jurors that could possibly be involved in any particular case. Not one case, any particular case that could be upcoming. So to that part, he had a point. I'm sorry, K baby. You know I don't make announcements and stuff, child. I just be coming on. I don't. Case was not fairly. The women kept going back. Some of the women kept going back. Some of them kept going back. The ones that were involved in this, a little different case. It was a different case. Especially the woman that he actually raped, that he only got 3 years for. They had a lot of information against him, and they literally spared him in the media. The fact, and there were a lot of documentaries put out there. Let me not say a lot. There were a few put out there about his situation, because people were saying, where are the documentaries, right? But they were out there. They just weren't marketed. People weren't making sure that you went and watched the documentaries to see what was going on. So I feel like he got some leeway with that, because some people made sure that those documentaries weren't world renowned. So they kind of swept those things under the rug. Did you see the woman that's coming after Oprah, saying that Oprah said she had to do something with Weinstein to make... Say what? You know what? I can believe it. I can believe it. And I know that's sad to say, but I can believe it, because the way that they're moving right now, yeah, I can believe it. Just like that, excuse me. Let's end that. Oh, don't get me started, Lord. Oof. This was one of the things that I wanted to put out there, because I think it's important. Weinstein's attorney said that the other attorneys were characterizing Weinstein as this all-powerful figure, right? And Weinstein's attorney says that his celebrity actually hurt his case. This is what his attorney is saying. She said, you have this idea that having fame and fortune and money at his fingertips is positive. But in many ways, having that life and have every single move that you make be scrutinized by the media shows that there is a pressure that goes along with this lifestyle that is probably not something that everyone would want. You don't say. Hmm. She went on to argue that Weinstein's role in bringing award-winning hits such as Shakespeare in Love and The English Patient to the screen had made him a target. He built careers, and because he's known as someone who did that, everyone wants a piece of him. Who noted that Weinstein was responsible for at least 80 plus Oscars. She said that's no small feat. But then she went on to say that his punishment was obscene. Girl, bye. That's all I'm saying. You have his mandatory minimum was 5. His max was 29. He got 23. Now, I'm sure if that was someone, I'm pretty sure they're going to appeal. Yeah, Tanya. If that was anybody else, he probably would have got 28.5. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think that was fair. And for the rape, 3 years, yeah, I think that's fair. And I also think that they took into consideration that he still had court or some charges that he had to face in California. So, obscene, I don't know about that one. But yeah. So, this is one, and I know some people say, yeah, but what about this and what about that? And it's not a win for anybody per se, but for the people that felt like something wasn't going to happen to him because he has this going on. Hey, Maria, he has that going on. He may look like this. He may be, associated with this. That association and all that stuff didn't get him out of this mess. And that's just what it is. And he still has to face these other charges. So we'll see what happens. Now going to his homegirls. We're good, Maria. Getting on his homegirls for a minute. Now we know that they've been pretty quiet about him. They have something to say about everyone else, but they have been blatantly quiet on this one. So they haven't been quiet. They just haven't been saying anything about him, right? So yeah, him and Micah, nobody really thought that they were gonna, and see, that's the thing, they didn't think they were gonna go either. And that's what makes this worth mentioning, because you got this complex, and you feel, you know what, let me not get started. So Oprah's still on her tour. Y'all know the tour, that she took the little tumble and she had her fall from grace. When she was like, wrong shoes. That one. Um, so she decided to bring Gayle on stage and do a little interview with Gayle to do like, she's doing my job. She actually doing a little crisis management, a little damage control for Miss Gayle. So she brought Gayle on the show, and she wanted to talk about their the little situation, Hey, Priscilla, the little situation with Gayle trying to be a little disrespectful with Kobe Bryant and Lisa Leslie. You know what I'm saying? So she took her moment while she had the Weight Watchers folks and all those folks in one place and tried to appeal to their sensitive side by bringing Gayle up there with her. You have to use Oprah to kind of get their attention because they listen to Oprah. And if Oprah says forgive Gayle, you forgive Gayle, right? So Yes, he does have another case against him in California. So Miss Miss Gayle, Oprah asked her a question about what happened, and you know, Gayle went and she talked about how hurt she was, and you know, it wasn't right. She said it was wrong for people to disrespect me the way that they did, and it was definitely wrong for them to threaten me. I agree with that. I can give it out. But I also think she has to realize the disrespect that she has caused other people, the disrespect that she has had towards other people in their lives, their families, um, the people that care about them. Let's not overlook that. We can't overlook that. Um, so they talked about Snoop Dogg, you know, doing his little apology after he called her. He called her. That's all I can say. He just made up some stuff. Yeah. Um, so it says that she accepted the apology, and she said that sometimes she finds it challenging to balance doing her job with the emotions and feelings during difficult times. And she never intended for the interview to cause anyone pain as they grieved Kobe's death. Girl, bye. Bye. Because you asked Lisa Leslie that question and she gave you an answer. And like so many other people, because it wasn't the answer that you wanted, you decided to give her the answer. You decided to tell her how she was supposed to feel. Isn't that what we see every day? So you know exactly what you were doing. Please don't do that. Just say you're sorry and keep it pushing. Say you apologize for overstepping your boundaries and keep it pushing. That's it. She said, it's gonna air tonight, y'all. It's airing tonight. I'm gonna have to go in here and see if I can find the time, but it's airing tonight. I want to say it's at 8 o'clock. So, um, so this interview took place on Saturday. So King, she told Oprah that dealing with the public scrutiny really rocked her. It rocked her. Let me bring back my Gayle voice. Just give me a minute. Hold on. I always try to operate from the do no harm. That's always my intention. In doing that story and doing that interview, um, the intention certainly didn't align with the impact and the fallout that happened from that. But what got to me was the vulgarity that was just unleashed at me in ways that I couldn't even understand. Now, we can agree to disagree, and you can be mad at me even, but you can't speak to me the way that I was spoken to and threatened. Insane. Stop it. You intentionally tried to hurt that man and his family. Just like Lisa Leslie said, you had been around this man, I don't know how many times, for years, and you had every opportunity to go and ask him any questions that you had. You had every opportunity to go and do that. But you wait until a week after this man passes to go and try to dig up some dirt, to add his name to all this mess that's already going on. So for you to sit here and put on this act like you auditioning for the color purple was a bunch of buffale. That's exactly what it was. So I'm calling BS on that one. Okay? And I'm going to have to give you the same voice that you gave Mr. Kelly. Gayle, Gayle, So do you really think that everyone is lying on you, Gayle? Everyone? Gayle, is everyone wrong when they're saying that you did this intentionally, Gayle? Everyone? I'm just saying. Y'all better get your girl. Y'all better get your girl. So, the the blatant, and I'm gonna say blatant, they just being straight blatant about not saying anything about this guy. And let me put that picture up for a minute. Let me put that picture up. There they go. There they go. So just like I said a couple videos ago, you got to be careful how you do people. You got to be careful about what you put in this atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful about what you put all up and through here, because that stuff will come right on back to you. You know what I'm saying? And I guess with all the things that she has done over the years, nobody like really came at her like that. So it was a surprise to her, I'm guessing. Um, what is FedEx doing delivering this late? On the night shift. Um, yeah, it comes back. It comes back. So she meant to get on her scandal, but I was mad and she should never have been doing any interview. Lord, don't get me started. Yeah, it's not funny when it's reversed. Karen, it's the thing. Let me give y'all the right time right here. Hold on, hold on, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Um, let's see here. Oh Lord. um, um, oh God, y'all, I gotta show you the picture. Look at this. Hold up. This is them together on the stage right here. This them together. Hold up. This is them together. And I have to be careful because I said something about women's empowerment the other day on my community wall, and somebody said that I was not empowering women. I don't know where that came from. Empowering women does not mean that I got to tell you what you want to hear to make you feel good. Um, so this thing is supposed to be. Oh my. Hold on. So this article discussing this interview, so I'm gonna have to go and watch this interview tonight. Um, it talks about her career and becoming an editor. She was an anchor at O, then she became an editor. Then she hosted Gayle King show on Sirius XM. Um, then she co-anchored. Well, now she's a co-anchor of CBS This Morning. Listen to this, y'all. As a journalist, Gayle has most recently received acclaim for interviews with everyone from R. Kelly to 220's Grammy nominees. Why are you holding on to that? Let me move on. So Oprah asked Gayle if she believed she would have been successful had she stayed married? That's an interesting question. Oprah asked Gayle if she believes she would have been as successful if she had remained married. Huh. Something ain't right. Let me read another further. I can say 150% absolutely not. Because this was a very smart guy. Yale educated lawyer, former cop, very good looking, all the good things, but for whatever reason, being married to me was difficult for him. And I can remember very clearly a conversation when he said, I'll be glad when this Gayle King buffale is over. And I thought, God, I want somebody who kind of likes this Gayle King buffale. Gayle receives cheers from the crowd. And I can hear Oprah going, awesome. Let's see. So they spoke about Gayle's career highs. They also had to speak about a recent low. In February, Gayle interviewed former WNBA player Lisa Leslie about the legacy of her friend Kobe Bryant after his passing. During this sit down for CBS This Morning, Gayle asked Leslie whether it's fair for the NBA star's sexual assault allegations from 2003 to be discussed after his death. And basically, she was saying that it tarnished his legacy. How, girl? Mm. Oprah admitted that the controversy behind it was difficult to witness. Hey, Joanne. She said it was difficult to witness. And then she asked Gayle, what did the situation teach you? Now, I'm going to press pause for a minute because what I see right here is that Oprah kind of feel like she was out of place by asking that question. Yancey, hey, how you doing? She was a little out of place. Now, she playing this two ways. Number one, I want you to see that that question was a little off. But now I want you to come to the people and let them know what you learned from this because you have to make the people feel that there was a lesson learned from this other than watch what you say so you don't get cursed out by Snoop Dogg. I mean, there's another lesson that has to be learned from this. So let's see what Miss Gayle said because you know they know how to play it. Everything is an audition. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So she says, over my price limits, moonwalking away yet. Let me channel my inner Gayle for a minute, so y'all just give me a second. She says, it was a very challenging time. Hard for me as a friend who is a part of that trolling to watch you go through it. What did you learn from all that? I'm sorry, I'm still Oprah. Sorry. So here's Gayle. It rocked me, Oprah. I mean, it really rocked me. I always try to operate from a do no harm, that's always my intention. And doing that story and doing that interview, the intention certainly didn't align with the impact and the fallout that happened from it. But what got to me was the vulgarity that was just unleashed at me in ways that I couldn't even understand. I think we can disagree politically, we can disagree socially, but I think humanity should prevail always. We can disagree and you can be mad at me, but you can't speak to me in that way that I was spoken to and threatened. Now I'm going to end this scene again. Oprah said, have you moved on? And Gayle took a minute to think about it. Well, I have moved on. Is there a scab? Yes. But I have moved on. I put on my game face and I put on my big girl, she said pants. I'm going to say drawers. I put on my big girl drawers because I've never lost sight of who I was, what I believe I am, and my intention. It certainly was a learning curve, and it was very painful. But I think sometimes you have to go through that. Water, please. Before Oprah let her bestie go, she remarked how many people introduce their best friends as the Gayle to their Oprah before asking Gayle what she thinks is the secret to true friendship. I'm not going to read that part because it doesn't matter. But what I will say, and it goes back again to what was said previously, be careful how you do people. Because that karma, that sister does not let go of grudges. She holds grudges. You hear me? That sister holds grudges. So, you just got to be careful. You got to be careful. And you also have to, you know, don't just give one or two the benefit of the doubt. You got to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, you know? Shoot, you gave Harvey benefits. Jesus. I'm just saying. Oprah and Gayle is fake. Don't lie. Gayle and Oprah had a choice to pick the interviews that they do. Absolutely. People kill me when they dish it but can't take it. Get out of here. Miss me with that BS. Miss me. Snoop better watch out because these two will try to come after him next. They should. Man, don't get me started. Hey, Ruby. Yes, Phases is good. Phases is good. She's good. Maria, I agree. That's why I read this thing when she was mentioning this interview because it actually helped, push her career a bit further. Um, and clearly she has no problem with saying that. So, Gayle, I'm sorry, Karma. Karma holds grudges. Yeah, she's a beast child. She don't let stuff go. I don't care what you say. She don't let it go. You have to tell her sometime, I think you better let it go. But Karma ain't trying to let nothing go. So, wanted to give you guys that information on Miss Gayle and Miss Oprah. Karma, she's a whoop. Yes, yes, yes. Um, Child, don't get me started. Don't get me started. So, brought you guys out here in my little place of peace. Um, when it warms up, this is where I do my best thinking. So, wanted to bring you guys out here so we could have a little peace, other than the grasshoppers and crickets and all that stuff, doing what they do. Um, like I said, for those of you whose name was pulled into any bouffale, I apologize for whoever pulled you into anything. And I would strongly, strongly suggest, you don't have to, but I would strongly suggest that you do as I have been doing. Um, and pay them nothing but no attention. That's all you get paid from me. Um, and we move forward. We move forward. Um, you know, um, Miss January. Hey, hey, hey. We're at a time. I love it. I be hearing them outside my window too. And I know, I know. Did Pico say any raccoon? Let me tell you something. I'm country as all get out, but I don't do raccoons. You know what I'm saying? It's some raccoons around here somewhere. They better not come walking over here. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Um, so I'm country, but I ain't that country. Um, so do y'all have any questions? Any questions for me before I get off here? I'm not doing more than an hour today. So I have 2 raccoons on my porch every night. Say what? What was it? No, 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 no. We don't do raccoons, child. Well, eating cat food. What? Miss Katie, you said I hope stop. Hold, I can't even read. Hold up. Let me go back. You said you hope I stop taking pictures. Beautiful day in South Carolina. Yes, yes. It's so beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? um, I wish I was back home now. Oh, I can't wait for the one with the NBA. It's coming. You know, it got to grace us first, and then it'll start traveling north. You know what I'm saying? So, we get the first little hit, and then it'll give y'all a little something, go and sprinkle a little something, a little razzle dazzle. Um, so wait for it. I feed strays. I feel bad. So since raccoons about 50 pounds each, I feed them daytime. Oh my, Maria, the on- the only strays that get fed around here are my nieces and nephews. I'm so sorry. Hey Arlene, how you doing? They just be walking up. Auntie, you got auntie. They just be walking up. It's decent up here in Indianapolis. In Indianapolis. What's the weather like up there, Pico? That's right, Kay. Hello, razzle dazzle. Man, listen. Let me tell you something. I mean, like, for real. Yo, real talk. A raccoon come over here, it's gonna be trouble, trouble. We don't do the raccoon chat. Mm-mm. You're looking for a cat to walk by. Keisha said the weather is so disrespectful. So disrespectful. High 52 today with lots of sunshine. Okay, okay. Who gonna get sued, Miss Katie? I don't mess with them. I just found out I was feeding them and I didn't know till a few nights ago. Oh Lord, Maria, let me tell you something. As long as this um, Corona and Heineken virus running around here, don't feed the strays. Don't feed the strays. Because we don't know. They might be carrying it too. Hey, Tori, how you doing? Let me stop saying that for somebody said they can get the virus from the cats and stuff and the raccoons. But for real, I'm just saying, be careful. Just be careful. Um, okay. Or dogs. That's right. That's right. Shoot, in my case, we had ducks. So ducks, don't. Mm-mm. None of that. None of that. Um, but okay, guys. I told y'all I pull food in at night. They can get It's deep in Houston. Oh my. That's right. Corona and Hennessy. Corona and Hennessy. Look, now I'm hearing something like some raccoons trying to sneak up on me. We have geese and they ain't scared either. Two fingers raised up like in church. It was too soon for Gayle to say what she said. Two fingers still up, back and back down. I can't stand the rain. Out of my corn lemons. Bless Excuse me a minute. Listen, speaking of that, right? I saw on Twitter the other day. I don't know if y'all remember some years ago, Haley Berry said that she found in her genealogy that her and Sarah Palin were related, right? So recently, Sarah Palin felt the need to come out and like, yeah, kind of like, well, you know, me and Halle Berry related. And Halle came back. Let me tell you something. If she ain't pulled that card out with them two church fingers, she was like, "Excuse me, Pastor. Excuse me a minute. Excuse me a minute. I said that we were related somewhere down the tree, but she ain't invited to the cookout. Let's be clear." And let me be clear. Don't you be bringing no potato salad over here that's all white. Let me be clear. That potato salad better have some mustard up in there somewhere. Let me be clear. Oh Lord, she tickled me. I don't like moose meat. What the flip? Not the moose meat. Jesus, Joseph and Mary. You just threw me all the way off with that moose meat. I'm just saying. And the people on this channel, don't start talking about food because they go all the way in when you start talking about food. I'm telling you. They start talking about pigs, snails, and puppy dog tails. You got to be careful. Got to be careful. Yeah, strictly. Oh, let me ask you this question. Do you think since what has happened to Harvey that's going to make a hard impact? Gospel Glam, that's one of the things that I have some concern about. Um, but from what I've seen, and in all honesty, from what I've seen, his judge, at least for Chicago, seems to be pretty fair. I can't speak on the one from New York, but in Chicago, he seems to be pretty fair. So, yeah. She said it's time to go inside. It feels good. Stand up for yourself. Miss Katie, I'm not deleting your comments. We can see your comments. I promise you we can. Um, so yeah, guys and gals. Nah, you can sleep out there. Look, Maria, I do. I do. I sure do. I sure do. Um, have that TV or that radio going, and that's a wrap. That's a wrap. Um, I just had to put my curtains back up. I haven't put the curtains up because it's been raining and stuff, so I got to put my curtains up. Pico, my cousin is in the chat actually. Lakeisha, she's in the chat. She running her mouth in the chat. Yeah, she's in here right now. She in the bushes. She in the bushes. Um, let's see. Yeah, she's here. Um, actually, the last time we were trying to go live, it was my computer, or one of our computers is acting crazy, so we didn't do it. But we'll go live again. We're gonna do that again. Um, yes. Oh, I don't know if y'all can see this. I've been drinking wine. You're on patio time. What time is it? Okay. Yeah, I'm sure we got some somewhere, child. If they ain't over here, they for darn show in the bushes. Oh gosh. Um, it shouldn't be buffering. Let's see. I've been drinking for a few days. Y'all better act better next court. Miss Katie, all that court stuff was a bunch of inflated stuff. Um, attention seeking behaviors, and that's all I'm gonna say. So, um, yeah, K baby with the butt. um, yeah, it was just a bunch of mess, and that's why I told you I'm not gonna get involved in any other pettiness or whatever, because I'm not gonna give anybody any extra attention. That patio reminds me of my great aunt's patio. The good girl. Let me tell you something. Don't give me the house without the patio, or at least the cement to get the patio started. Cause I got to have, yeah, I got to have it. Yeah, that's just part of my getaway, you know. Um, so I got less than 2 minutes to go. Less than 2 minutes to go. So thank you guys that decided to tune in. Um, Girl, this the hood, child. This the hood. Come on, Miss Katie. You come on. You come right on. Lord, y'all done pulled out the coyotes. You done pull out the moose. Done pull out the raccoons. Lord, I cliff, oh God. I tell you. Ooh, not over here. Not over here. I love Dr. Rogers' channel. No nonsense. Down with very nice people like our K Baby. Yeah, we love K Baby. And y'all make sure y'all check her channel out. Check K Baby's lane out. Good. She's good. Miss January, we do have deer now. Yes, ma'am. We have those. We definitely have those. And they run the world. They run the world. Um, so my countdown is on. I'm making sure I stick to these times now. So I appreciate you guys, girls, ladies, for tuning in. Um, yeah, K Baby be doing it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for all the positivity. This is what I love to see, all positive. Um, everybody. That's right, Miss Katie. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And we're gonna see you guys the next time. I can't say when, but we're gonna see you guys the next time. Tell Cleopas I said, hey Keisha. Hey Elizabeth. Hey. Karen said, no, you hearing stuff. Go in the house and lock the locks. I'm going. All right, y'all. Y'all be good, be safe, and be blessed. And I'll see you next time. Bye.